Institute of Water Policy. It's very nice to see so many people here to celebrate this very nice event regarding the Singapore water story. And I'd like to talk for just a minute how a water story is also a story about people. It's about people for sure, those folks who actually made the Singapore water story unfold, those people such as Mr. Lee and his colleagues, who had the vision and determination and the commitment to really make the water situation what it is today for Singapore. Because they could see long ago that if Singapore were to be this bright, thriving city that it is, we would need to have a safe, clean, affordable, and very sustainable water supply. And they saw it through. The water story is also about all of us who consume water. We enjoy water in recreation and in our households, and we also put it to work for our livelihoods in many cases. And so a water story is really about people as well. In fact, behind every glass of clean drinking water, along every stream, up and down the reaches of every river on the planet, there are people. There are people much like you and me. Some who live in bright, shining cities, such as Singapore. Many more who live in small cities and towns around the world who have fairly good access to water. Very good, reliable supplies. Yet there are many million more, perhaps 800 million or so, who live in deep inner cities or slums or informal settlements, where they live in rural villages, where they have to walk many kilometers per day to cobble together a water supply from so many different sources. Many of these people who today still don't have access to reliable and safe water suffer the deprivations of not having access to water and sanitation. We still lose about 7 million children below the age of 5 every year due to very preventable diseases, some of which are caused by lack of access to clean water and sanitation. This is the 14th time we have gathered to celebrate World Water Day within this 21st century. The 21st century. A time when I was growing up, although it seemed like the 19th century now, I think I was growing up only in the 20th century, but the 21st century sounded like such a time of high technology and easy living, just as we do have to some degree here in Singapore and many other cities. But for much of humanity, it's still a struggle. When I knew I was going to be speaking today, I figured I better get onto Amazon.com and have a look at that there Singapore water story book so I could become prepared. While I was there, I thought, well, why not have a look and see if the South Asia water story book is available as well? But no, said Amazon, cannot. The South Asia water story isn't written yet. Won't be done until maybe 2037. My goodness. I said, well, can you tell me what price the book would be? And they said, no, we really can't, but we know that the South Asia water story will cost at least a few $1 billion to make happen. Not to be deterred, I said, well, how about the Africa water story? Is that book available yet? No, it cannot. Going to have to wait till 2048. And again, we don't know the price, but we know the cost is going to be pretty high. My friends, I don't know about you, but I don't really want to wait around until 2037 or 2048. In fact, I might not have the opportunity to wait around until 2048 for both the South Asia water story and the Africa water story to unfold. That's why we in the Institute of Water Policy, with very generous funding support from Singapore's Public Utility Board, are working very hard now to take the lessons and take the knowledge that we have gained from Singapore's water experience to extend it around the world. We're working in countries of Asia where folks don't have good access to water supply yet. We're working in North Africa as well. Again, trying to help those who are less fortunate than us to gain access to clean, safe water supplies so we can take down these rates of child mortality. We can bring people better livelihoods. We can empower people to spend less time per day fetching water supplies from sources, some which are clean, some which are not, some which are affordable, some which are not. We have lots of work to do, and so I'd like to encourage all the students in the room in particular to continue studying these topics that you find so interesting and are so vitally important in the water sector and elsewhere. We still need to learn more about the science of water, the economics of water, and of course the policy settings in which we work with water as well. What a better place to be speaking about all of this than in a public policy school. Because we continue to believe and we continue to be motivated by the fact that, again, water stories aren't just stories about the water resource itself, but indeed they're stories about people. Because behind every glass, along every stream, up and down the rivers of the reaches of every rivers on the planet, There are people much like you and me, for whom a bright, shining water story has not yet unfolded. Come join us in our effort. We have lots of good work to do together. Come join us. Keep studying hard. Help us find solutions, and help us extend this wonderful Singapore water story to many more towns and villages and cities around the globe. Thank you so much for joining us on this day when we celebrate this wonderful Singapore water story, and let's all have a very nice afternoon. Thank you very much.